Hello, and welcome to one of today's episodes of Saddest Night Out. My name is Roy, and I am the host of this daily podcast, and it's primarily about music and creative culture in London. Once again, my next live show is Tuesday, the 20th of August at Road Trip and the Workshop, Saddest Night Out Live number 3, with music from Izzy, Kinsol, Rose White and Jack, and myself. That is Tuesday 20th of August at Road Trip and the Workshop on Old Street. If you go to facebook.com/Saddest Night Out, you will find more details there. On the first of today's episodes, we have a newcomer to the podcast and a relative newcomer to the open mics. His name is Bizzie, and we caught up just before the open mic at the Nelsons last night. We went into the basement once again, my unofficial office for conducting interviews. Benny has played, to my memory, 3 of my open mics. I first saw him last Sunday, then I saw him Wednesday in Camden, and last night in Hoxton. He's a fantastic performer. The last 2 open mics he's done with me, he was the first person on, which can seem like a daunting position to be in. But he's the type of performer that you would love to have on first, because you know he's going to be a real crowd pleaser. So on this episode, he introduces us to who Bizzie is. And it's a really interesting story. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll catch up with you more afterwards. I am back in the basement of the Nelsons. It's Thursday. We have yet to start the open mic. I'm here with a performer who I think is about to make their 3rd appearance at one of our nights. Is that correct?
Yeah, about four.
Oh, 4.
Yeah,
so there was one night. There was last Sunday. There was last night in Camden, and then
Monday.
That's the one I missed.
Gambal Brothers. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So would you kindly introduce yourself to the listeners?
Hi. So I'm Bizzie. I'm a UK R&B singer, songwriter. I've released a lot of records. I've done videos and all that stuff. Been in recording studios, but never took the stage. So
yeah,
this is me taking the stage.
That was literally like your opening line when I met you, and I just thought that seemed like an interesting situation to end up in. So you spent a lot of time in the studio on that side of things, but never really on the stage.
Nah.
Was that deliberate?
No, it's just I was just going with the flow. So I was in studios and I'll meet singers and end up working with them for a long time, and then through working with them, other people come along, and then other people come along, and other people come along, and before you know it, it's like you've done 3 years or 4 years in a studio doing like 10 albums for like different emerging artists and stuff, and you meet their managers, their publishers, all that stuff. But you know, some stuff get released, some don't. But I was literally just like the studio, like songwriter, vocal arranger / yeah.
So how did you get in the studio in the first place?
So I went to uni, Ealing Studios. I went to uni at Thames Valley University in West London, and they have Ealing Studios as their base for where the students would go and record and learn how to produce and stuff. So I became one of the studio technicians while studying music as well. Yeah. So through that, So
when did you first decide?
That gave me that access.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that gave me that access.
So when did you first decide to study music? Was it a passion, and then you thought, let me take the school route?
Roy's trying to make me go. You're trying to make me go
let's
back.
Let's get deep. Yes, right.
You are trying to make me go back. Let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Right, let's do this. Right, okay. I was a grime artist initially, and that all started from school, writing in lyric books and all that stuff, and books, English maths books, but turning it into lyric books and just writing, releasing like pirate radio stations, channel aka just grime artist.
Right.
Like doing that like in different crews, like Your Boy Better Knows with JME and Skepta, working with like Wretch 32, Scorcher, all those kind of like names, and doing that. At that point I didn't even know I was going to uni. I thought like definitely music, Channel U, TV, just take the stage. But didn't happen. So that's my story of being a grime artist, and then went to uni from there. And actually I didn't even get into uni because I had like great music grades. It was just based on the fact that this kid is driven. Like he's got like 3 EPs, he's done videos, they were like, right, we'll just put you in a foundation course and start from there.
Wow.
And literally that's where it began.
So you start off doing grime.
Yeah.
Is there an older sibling that introduces you to it? Is it people at school?
That's just your product of your environment. That those days it was garage, then it was grime, it was Dizzy Rascal, it was Wiley, it was Boy Better Know, it was Oxide and Neutrino, So Solid. It was that era.
So even before you started, did you already know music was the thing, and then grime was the the quickest access to music?
So I guess my parents' church, piano, choirs, all that stuff, music. That I was always there every week. So that was my intro to it. And obviously parents playing like vinyl records of like, you know, the oldies and Michael Jacksons and Whitney Houstons and all those guys. So did all that. But in the environment I grew up in, Tottenham, you can't really be that guy singing on like the streets while everybody's like being gangster and whatever. So grime had to be I had to play a role basically. I had to play that part for a while, and I did.
And when you say didn't happen, what were you hoping would happen, and when did you just decide? Because it sounds like, like you said yourself, you were driven.
Yeah, I was.
So was there a point when you thought, okay, let's take this drive in a different direction?
Just years of doing it and not really like, even though you were on TV and you were on radio stations, just not really getting like that label attraction or money. Like, do you know what I mean? It was like, well, what's going on? This is such an endless like cycle of just like repetitive. So it was like, let's try uni and let's like see what that's like. And I applied. I didn't think I was going to get in. I didn't have, you know, music grades. I didn't think I was going to get in. And so maybe that was my little trickle from, you know, the gods, you know, like I'll give you this as a, you know, like go, and then that opens up new avenues. And so I left Tottenham, went to Ealing, did 4 years in Ealing, just in those studios, man. And that's the thing. Once I got a whiff of those studios, it was like, oh man, you just gave me like, I don't know, like toys, you know. So I just fell in love. I fell in love with it. Like I was in a studio every day, Roy. Like I didn't go home. Like I literally, you could book it overnight. Like I literally stayed till the next morning.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I would go, because you only go uni 2-3 days.
Yeah.
And then the other days I was literally in studios.
So what were you doing there? Working your own stuff?
Just learning how to use the mixing decks, learning how to use Logic Pro Tools, learning how to record, like, and then brought other people in. Everything I learned, I needed people to, you know, experiment. So I met singers and I wrote for them and recorded them, mixed them, did albums, EPs, and just put it out. Just put everything out.
Wow.
Yeah, and some of them got picked up by, you know, DJs who play their stuff on radio. Some of them got picked up by managers, and then I was the background, because I was now the guy that I wasn't the forefront anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Facilitating everyone else.
So I was facilitating it. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So I did that for about 4 years, and then eventually I was like, right. So I was an artist, grime artist. Nothing really came. Then I was the guy facilitating everything, but I'm still not getting paid, and labels are not.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go back to trying to be an artist, but this time I was singing, and then I thought let's start singing, let's do that, because I was writing for other people, so let's try and see what it's like to sing one of your own songs and put it out. And I did that, and that got so much attention, so much response, that it was literally like another trickle from the gods.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that it was like, cool, let's try. Then I ran with that, and I've ran with it ever since then.
Right. So how long have you been recording as Benny Bizzie? Like, how long have you been doing that?
As the Benny Bizzie, the singer. Maybe 4 years, and 4 years while at uni. Then I took a break. I left uni. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with the qualifications. You kind of think you go uni, you do a music degree, you're going to end up working at Sony. Yeah. Like, it doesn't happen that way. No, it really doesn't. Like, you're just left after uni with your qualification, confused at home. Like, what's next?
Yeah.
Like, so I went into teaching actually for 4 years. I went to teach disabled children with autism and ADHD, and then picked up the guitar actually 2 years after doing that, and through the guitar and like singing again in my room and all that stuff. Then I have my own home studio with a Logic and just the iMac and speakers, and I just started to kind of self-produce. But this time it was working on me.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't a recording studio, it was my home, like, and my room, and like this guitar and this computer.
Yeah.
So I worked on me so much, like learned that guitar, practiced my voice, learned how to use Logic, produced beats, and I just started doing my own stuff. And that's literally, and then this is where I'm at now.
Yeah.
Of like, right, you've been doing your own stuff, you've put some stuff out, let's try the live circuit and see what that's like.
So once you realise I should probably like get my sea legs on a stage,
yeah,
I'm guessing you search for open mics. You figure, let me start.
I was on Facebook. I was on groups, just looking at acoustic nights in London. Came across UK open mic nights. Yeah, and then like I didn't book the first time because and this is the thing, because I've been in my room, in my room, so I'm not ready for like, I don't know what this feels like. I remember looking at that reserve your slot button. I did not click it. Like I spent like 2 weeks just looking at it, did not click it. I swear, I was like, nah. And then you guys put that thing that says, if you do not attend, you will be classed as a no-show. And I was like, oh my goodness. I don't want to be a no-show. Like, I just felt like I'll be blacklisted. So I was like, nah, I can't click that button. I can't click that button. Just like anxious. And then that Sunday came, I did the Baker Street one. I think the host was Brandon. And that day, I literally booked on that day for that day. Yeah, and I went.
Did 2 songs? One original, one cover?
One original, one song, one cover, and I did 2 songs.
So
and I remember shaking and just being nervous and like doubt and stuff, but yeah, did 2 songs, it went well, and here I am.
Keep me at it.
I've done 4 now. Literally did the Sunday, then did the Monday, then did I think Sunday again, and then did Tuesday, yesterday and Wednesday. So actually I've done 5 now.
Wow.
Yeah, I've done 5.
And are you taking to it the same way you took to it? Does it remind you of when you first started recording? Like, there's a lot you need to learn.
You might be right, yeah. So I am taking to it, because now this is giving me that same fascination of when I started recording, when I was in my room with that guitar again. It's like another trickle. It's like, right, this is a different path, but you know, it's another one where I love it. Like I'm enjoying it so much, because I love growth, and I love anything that's gonna let me grow and keep learning, and this lets me do that, because you know now I'm like, okay, it's playing the guitar and singing. That's a new thing for me. It's not 2 separate things. It's one. It's one thing that you need to kind of hone, and it takes a while to get used to that. And that's something I'm willing to learn and keep practicing. And my voice as well, like just like using a microphone, and literally like it's different from a recording studio. It's a smaller space. It's just recorded into a computer. Here, there's a big stage. There's the audience. They might be talking. They might be singing "Happy Birthday" behind you. You know, but you just kind of gotta like get on with it. And and it's helping me build more confidence.
So it looks like that drive has never left you. It's found new avenues to go, but it's still there.
Yeah, it keeps on morphing, taking different shapes.
So where do you want it to take you next?
I don't know. And I quite like the mystery in that, but I do know that I just want it to be where I'm happy doing it. I feel like I'm growing, and perhaps some success, whether that's paying bigger venues and actually for a change, making some money. Yeah, getting bigger opportunities. That's it, man. Like, I'm not trying to be the next Jay-Z, man. Or the next Adele or Sharon. I'm just trying to, just get somewhere.
So in the meantime, where can people find you online to keep track and see what's happening?
I use Instagram like every day. Like, I'll probably put like 20 stories a day. Like, I use Instagram crazy. So Instagram at Benny Bizzie. Bizzie, because I had a spree of people calling me Benny Bizzle. It's not Benny Bizzle. No. I'm not related to Lethal Bizzle. No, there's no Bizzle. Okay, it's Bizzie. Okay, and that just comes from like the fact that I've got a busy mind and I like to keep moving and keep busy. So that's all that's about. Yeah, and I'm on Facebook as well, Benny Bizzie. I've got my website, bennybizzie.co.uk. So yeah.
Fantastic, Benny. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
It's a great performance.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you. And that was that. Thank you so much, Benny, for your time. It's been great having you at the open mics. Your performances are fantastic. Also, a particular thanks for all of the videos that you post on Instagram. I think he mentioned in the episode that you can find him on Instagram at Benny Bizzie, not Bizzle, Bizzie, and that he is always on there posting stories. He's posted quite a few of me recently. So if you've never been to one of my open mics and you're curious about what I'm like as a host, I'd recommend checking out his Instagram profile and his stories in the next 24 hours anyway, because I don't know if he'll be at my next one, and Instagram stories only last so long. But I really appreciate him taking videos of what I do as well as what he does, because what he does is fantastic. I already know my dad is going to love this episode, because there is a lot about Benny's story that will remind him of me. I also went to university to study engineering in a studio. I also was completely bowled over when I arrived and saw that it was an actual studio there that I'd get to use. I also spent a lot of time in the studio, but I did not have the drive that Benny clearly illustrates here, because my time in the studio was met with a lot of frustration. I didn't bring in other people to work with them and to get better. I kept working by myself, kept getting frustrated when things didn't work out the way I wanted, and then I was quick to quit. So it's almost some sort of twisted mirror that I am looking in when I hear Benny talk about his story. I also didn't do something as wholesome as working with special needs children either. That was, I mean, like, how could you not fall in love with Benny Bizzie? If you didn't already fall in love with him from seeing his performance on stage, hearing him talk about his story here, I mean, vote Benny Bizzie is basically what I'm saying. And as he mentioned, Benny Bizzie on Instagram, and he does have some music on Spotify. And I got to pull my favorite move at the open mic, which is to hear Benny play his single More. And then as soon as he finished, I queued it up on my jukebox, essentially my phone Spotify. So once he finished and I unplugged his guitar, etc., I put on the house music, and it was his song playing. I always love moments like that. And like he said, I too like to see growth. I like to see a performer who maybe comes for the first time and you can see the nerves, but they fight through that, they keep coming, and they get stronger and stronger on the stage. I'd like to think that happened to me. I can definitely see it happening to Benny. And yeah, our paths definitely diverged. I mean, for starters, I never really got into grime, but I definitely did go to university to pursue music, and I definitely know the feeling of, I didn't even finish my degree, I dropped out, so already our paths diverged there. But I know that feeling of having that experience in the studio, and then afterwards thinking, well, now what? And I'm really glad that Benny, somewhat similar to Honey, who I spoke to on episode number. Honey was actually there the Sunday night when I first saw Benny perform as well. That was the same Sunday. So Honey, episode 204, also went through an episode, a season, where she fell out of love, or maybe not out of love, but just stepped away from music and performing, but eventually found her way back to it. I'm really glad Benny was able to find his way back as well, and I hope for nothing but the best for him. With his drive and his ambition, he's already shown that he has what it takes to adapt to whatever environment he's in and thrive. And thrive is all I see him continuing to do. So thank you very much, Benny. I'll post links to where you can find him online in the notes for this episode. As for myself, last night I promised myself I would start on time, I would finish on time, and yet I still managed to get home after 1 a.m. So boy, am I still tired today. But I do it again in a heartbeat. For performances like Benny's, it's absolutely worth it. I've got one more episode coming out later today, which is another conversation from this open mic. And once again, my next live show is Tuesday, the 20th of August at Road Trip and the Workshop with Izzy, Kinsole, and Rose White and Jack. Go to facebook.com/saddest night out to find out more. Maybe as I continue to record these episodes, I might manage to tap into some of that drive, some of that ambition, some of that tenacity that Benny Bizzie has illustrated today. And we'll see where that takes me, and hopefully you'll see where that takes Benny as well. Thank you once again, Benny. Thank you all for listening. Feel free to reach out, tell me what you think. Tell me if you think there's any people I've interviewed in the past that I should try to connect. Anyone who you have seen have similar stories and you think could be interesting together. saddestnightout@gmail.com or on all social media at saddestnightout, all as one word. Otherwise, that's all from me. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.